Hey everyone, how are you doing? As the indecisive designer that I am, I've decided once more to start working on my website and redesign my portfolio. And this is starting to become some sort of annual tradition where I remember about my website, then life takes over and I have so much work to do that I can't work on my website anymore. It's under construction, then I remember about it again, work on it, and then the loop just starts over, which is great. But this time I'm taking a different approach in which I'm not going to design the visual part of my website, which I can show you in a minute. That is working for me, does exactly what I wanted to do, which is show my work, show who I am, and get me new projects and new clients. So that's great. I'm not going to touch that. However, I've decided to change platforms. So for the last 2-3 years, my website has been hosted on Webflow. And Webflow, in case you don't know it, is this great platform that allows you to create your portfolio or your website in a very visual way without code and with an amazing amount of options. And although I love Webflow, I've decided to take my website into Semplice, which is a plugin theme built on top of WordPress that also allows you to create your website in a very visual way without code and very easily and quickly. So in this video, I'm not going to criticize or tell you what's wrong with Webflow and why Semplice does it better, or tell you why you should change to Semplice as well. This is more about me telling you what are the reasons behind leaving Webflow and going into Semplice and how's been the process of doing so. Just to show you what I mean by the fact that my website is working at the moment. So I have this very simple homepage with the projects that I want to show, that show the type of projects that I would like to work on and some of my favorites from the past few years. Some for clients, some personal, so a bit of everything. It's very simple, but it shows exactly what I want to show front and center. For each project, then we have a case study with some description, with the role that I took in, the client, year, credit, etc. Some videos, text explaining the project in itself. At the end of the day, I work most of the time as a UX designer, so it is really important for me to explain what the goal was, what my role, what were the challenges, what were the successes, how was the process. So that needs to be explained somehow. And then we have the About page, explaining a bit about myself, where to find me on social media, what I do, collaborations, talks and classes, and just, what generally an About page is about. So nothing new here. So here you can see my dashboard in Webflow. So although my website is no longer hosted there, I can still access it and tweak it if I want to and go back at any time. What's interesting about it is this, the visual editor in Webflow. In a way, Webflow translates how CSS and HTML works into a visual tool. So you have classes, you can have your content displayed on Flexbox, on grids, float. You have the same vocabulary that you would find on CSS in a visual tool. I think that's what makes it so powerful, but I had a problem from the very beginning, which is that I didn't build my site properly. And because I didn't build my site properly, every time I touch something, it just breaks. It breaks something else in a different point of my website. Because of what I said at the beginning, that I never find the time to work on my website, every time I went into Webflow, it was too much. I couldn't decide what to work on. I couldn't decide if I had to begin from scratch or if I had to fix the bugs that I already had. And because I had so many options, I didn't know what to focus on. As you've seen, my website is not that complex. I don't want it to be complex because I want it to be easy to maintain. So if every time I make a change in the home screen, something changes in the About page, I don't want to build it from scratch again. And that's totally on me. I didn't build it correctly from the very beginning, but because I don't have the time now to build it from scratch, I just can't spend more time building something that doesn't work. Webflow is an amazing tool. You have to check it out. They have this amazing Webflow University where hundreds of hours of videos where they teach you how to build it from scratch, something very basic, everything is in there. For me personally, I just can't be bothered to start over again. And that's why I jumped into Semplice. Although Semplice is very powerful as well, it's not as complex. And I'm not saying it's simple, it's just that it's more visual. It works in a sort of drag and drop way. You just create blocks. You can still have paddings, you can still have margins, you have textiles, you have everything, but it works more as a visual tool rather than defining all the different aspects for every element in your website. So I don't want to go too much into detail with Semplice, but just so you can see, you have the pages where you can just edit whatever you want. And for instance, to have this hover effect, it was as easy as selecting how I wanted to have it. So it just options. I don't actually need to think too much about it. It's pre-made. So for me, that already works. So I have my different pages, the different projects that I have. I can duplicate them. I can set up the settings, the SEO, anything that I want. And then I can customize my website as a whole. So how's the grid working? What's the width that I want or the padding? I can import web fonts. So at the moment I have 2 web fonts from Google Fonts and I can just import them directly and they work. I can set up text styles, how the navigation looks like. I can actually have multiple navigations across my website. Can do the same with the footer, so I don't have to worry about creating it for each website or creating a component that I need to update. I can work on transitions and animations, what's the project navigation from one page to the other, and just so many advanced features that there are there in Webflow, but they just take time, and that's like the main reason that it just takes time. So if you're looking to create your portfolio in a very customized way, you want to build it from scratch, you are not afraid to dive into HTML or CSS, and you just have the time, I would totally recommend you go to Webflow. If you want something that's quick and you want to put together a website or your portfolio very quickly, you can use Semplice and you just pay once and you have it. Obviously, Semplice comes with its own inconveniences. You have to set up WordPress, you have to find your own hosting, and then install Semplice on top of that. They have lots of guides, and it's actually not that complicated. If you're interested about it, if you're interested about how I did it, you can let me know in the comments and I can do a video specifically on how I set up my Semplice and my website with it. On the other hand, Webflow has its own hosting. You just pay for it monthly and you don't have to worry about anything. You just have to set up your domain and you're good to go. So obviously there will be pros and cons between using one or the other. At the end of the day, the platform or the tool that you choose to create your portfolio with is not really that important. What's really important is that you choose something that you are comfortable with, both for creating it and to maintain it. I hope this video has been useful to you if you are in the process of creating your portfolio or if this is something that you're interested about. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching and see you soon.